Okay, good morning, everybody. This is our project. We are from Group 3. I am Kezia Thessa Destine and my friend Jennie Febrina Hutagalung. We are from Natural Science Education Study Program 2019 and we want to explain about our project about volcanism and earthquake. Okay, we want to tell you about volcanism and earthquake. Okay, let's start. For the first, about volcanism. What is volcanism? Volcanism is all magma activity from the inner layers of the lithosphere infiltrate more layers above or beyond the surface of the earth. Activity this results in a cone or dome that stands alone and is called a volcano. The main factor in the symptom of volcanism is magma. Because magma activity varies, it can cause various volcanic symptoms, such as the type of eruption, the shape of the volcano, and its activity. Okay, I want to tell you about symptoms of volcanism. For the first symptoms of pre-volcanism. In accordance the language listed pre, namely before. This means an event or symptom before volcanism occurs. The activities that occur before volcanism. 1. The temperature of the environment around the mountain has risen. 2. The springs are dry. 3. Often makes a roar or shaking sound. 4. Often accompanied by vibration or earthquake. 5. The plants around the mountains wither and the animals from the mountains undergo migration. And 6. The animals from the top of the mountain descending to the slopes of the mountain. At the last, increased temperature around the crater. Next, symptoms of post-volcanism. In accordance with the language listed post, it's namely after. The meaning is an event or symptom after volcanic activity occurs. The activities that occur after volcanism. The temperature of the environment around the mountain has risen. 1. There are hot springs that contain lots of mineral, especially sulfur. And 2. The emergence of geyser, namely hot water bursts that come out periodically from rock crevices. And the next is there is exhalation or gas storage in the form of fumarole, sulfur, and mofet. Nah, how about result of volcanism? There are two forms of volcanic activity, namely magma intrusion and magma extrusion. What is magma intrusion? Magma intrusion is an activity of magma into the lithosphere layers that don't reach the Earth's surface. Symptoms of magma intrusion include: first, batholith is igneous rock that is formed in the magma chamber, and the next is laccolith, igneous rocks that occurs into layers of the lithosphere and their shape is similar convex lens. And 2. Magma extrusion, an activity of magma into the layers of the lithosphere that reach the Earth's surface. From this extrusion activity of magma, various materials come out, such as: for the first, there is lava, in the form of molten rock that flows out of the earth through volcanic craters. And the next is lahar, in the form of a mixture of lava and materials on the earth's surface in the form of sand. Next is efflata and proclastic, in the form of solid materials in the form of bombs, lapilli, gravel, and also volcanic ash. And that last is inhalation or gas, in the form of carbonic acid, gas materials such as fumarole, sulfatar or sulfur gas torch, and mofet. Next is shape of the volcano. The shape of the Earth's surface as a result of volcanism is the emergence of various types of volcanoes, namely 1. Funnel or mark volcanoes, namely volcanoes that the result of an explosive eruption or in the form of an explosion. The position of the magma chamber is relatively shallow so that the volcano stops its activity with only one blast. Like Eiffel in France and Ranu Klaka, this is an example of this type. And two is shield volcanoes or S.Pd, namely volcanoes the result of an effusive eruption or an eruption in the form of a flow. Magma that is liquid or dilute moves to everything direction with a thin thickness so that altitude is also low. Examples is Mount Mauna Loa and Mount Kilauea in Hawaii. And the last is stratovolcano, with its shaped volcano high cone with steep slopes. The high cone is the result of pile of dense volcanic material or liquid continuously. Stratotype like Tangkuban Perahu, Kerinci, Merbabu, Gede Pangrango, Gempo, and others. Okay, the next explanation is earthquakes. And for earthquakes will be explained with Jennie Febrina Tagalong. For Jennie Febrina, time and place is yours.
Thank you, Kezia, Thessa, Destine, and I will continue about earthquake. Next. What is earthquakes? So, earthquakes are vibration that occurs on the moving Earth's plate, resulting in a sudden release of energy from the bowels of the Earth, which is usually followed by a fault. The strength of earthquake vibration is measured by a device called a seismometer, better known as a seismograph, while a paper containing a recording of the frequency and intensity of an earthquake is called a seismograph. Next. So there are 5 various types of earthquakes based on their cause. The first one is earthquakes collapse. This earthquake collapse is usually occurs in limestone areas or mining areas. These earthquakes are rare and local in nature. The next is impact earthquakes. This earthquake is caused by a meteor or asteroid collision that falls to Earth. This type of earthquake is rare. And the next is artificial earthquakes. Artificial earthquakes are earthquakes that are caused by human activity, such as dynamite, nuclear detonation, or hammers that are hit to the surface of the earth. Volcanic earthquake, and the next is volcanic earthquake. Volcanic earthquake is occurs to magma activity, which usually occurs before a volcano erupts. If the activity is higher, it, it will cause an explosion, which will cause an earthquake. The earthquake was only felt around the volcano. And the last one is tectonic earthquakes. This earthquakes is caused by tectonic activity, which is a sudden shift in tectonic plates, which have a very small to very large strength. Next. And the next, we will learning about plates movement. So plates movement divided into three. The first one is convergent, and the next is divergent, and the last is transform. Convergent is the movement of the plates that occurs when others are collide. The convergent motion between the two continental crusts leads to the formation of ridge or fault. For example, the formation of the Himalayas or Indian plate interactions with the Eurasia plate. And the next is divergent. Divergent is the movement of the plates away from each other. This movement causes the formation of a back ocean or main ocean ridge. And the last is transform. The transforms is the movement of the plates that cross each other, which can cause horizontal fractures. So you can see this picture. Jadi ada gerak konvergen, gerak divergen, dan gerak transform. You can see. Next. The next is fault and earth fracture. Jadi fault and earth fracture ini adalah lipatan dan patahan. So the first is fault. Fault is a wave in the soil layer that occurs due to a diatrophic process, or the process of forming the Earth's layer which is not interfered with by volcanic activity. You can see this picture. So there are 5 faults. The first one is open or symmetrical, and the next is asymmetrical, and the third is overturned, the fourth is recumbent, and the last is isoclinal. Okay, next. And next, we want learning about earth fracture. Earth fracture is a change in the shape of the earth that occurs due to the pressure of phase endogenous force, so that the earth's surface does not have time to fold and cause fractures. This fold usually occurs in areas that are shaped like rocks. Usually a fault occurs due to an earthquake. So the earth fracture, there are 7. The first is horse, and the next is graben, and menuju suatu pusat, memusat, menyebar, fraksur, destral, sinistral, and the last is block mountain. Next. So earthquake have impact. There are 4 impact earthquake. The first one is the tsunami wave. Tsunami waves appears when the epicenter of the earthquake breaks down so that the seawater descends temporarily. The next is damage to build. An earthquake is movement of the Earth's surface caused by the movement of tectonic plates that are below the Earth's surface, with the shaking of the Earth's surface. And the next is changing the topology or shape of the Earth's surface. And the next is cause cracks in the Earth's surface. Apart from the tsunami and the destructive of infrastructure, the earthquake also cause crack in the ground surface. Next. Next, Earth impact is cause change in groundwater management. And the last is resulting in psychological or mental trauma. As a result of the disaster, most of the victims could experience biopsychosocial surfing, namely disturbance of their village and excessive sensitive to mere change in voice. Next, Kezia. So, how to prevent earthquake? The first is preserving the environment and do not destroy the forest, do not damage natural so that the balance of natural is always maintained, and builds must be controlled with vibration or earthquake resistant construction, especially in earthquake prone areas. Reinforcement of building by adhering to building quality standard. And the next is construction of public facilities with high quality standard and strengthening of exciting vital buildings. And the next is plan the placement of settlements to reduce the density of occupancy in earthquake prone area. And the next is earthquake prone area zoning and land use regulation. And education and outreach to the public about the danger of earthquakes and ways to save themselves in the event of an earthquake. Participate in rescue training program, community awareness of earthquake, firefighters training and first aid. And the last is preparation of fire extinguisher, excavation equipment, and other community protection equipment. Okay, next. Oke, saya kembalikan kepada Kezia, Thessa, Destine.
Okay, this is the last of our project, and we want to say thank you for watching this video. Hopefully this video is can give it benefits, good benefits for you. Thank you all. Thank you everybody. Good morning
Thank
everybody.
you.